Alrighty, just give me a second to post the link to the stream on a couple more social media sites, and I'm also waiting for some people to show up in the group chat, or the live chat, I should say. So, after I get a couple things done, I can start my discussion on season 4. For the people watching, if you guys would like to go ahead and start posting your thoughts on Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk, go right ahead. So, and don't worry about spoilers. This is definitely going to be a very spoilery discussion, as is. So, just be forewarned. And yeah, I really should have put in the description that this stream was going to be filled with spoilers. I might do that at after the stream gets done, when it's officially posted to YouTube. So yeah. And yes, I'm on my own today, so just fine. It's fine. I mean, I don't want to, like, Gabby's been really busy in school, and so is Steven. So, I didn't want to drag them into this and, really pressure them to do this. I think he saw Butterfly Follies and he really liked it. And I liked that episode too, and I'll get into my thoughts more on that. And I'm not sure about Gabby. Last I checked, she said she has yet to catch up. Well, since I need a second before I start, if anybody's watching the stream right now, tell me your thoughts on the Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk. I may not go deep into interjecting my own thoughts with them until we get to the very end of the episode. What I'll do is, as I'm discussing the episodes, like after I get done discussing my thoughts on Butterfly Follies, I'll then go into the chat and see if anybody has anything to say about my thoughts or just the episode in general, and then I'll go into my thoughts on Escape from the Pie Folk. I just realized, guys, you know how River gives Moon the nickname Moon Pie? I'm wondering, is that supposed to be a reference to how Moon makes pies? Hmm. Let me know your thoughts on that. Hoping the I could really hear the fans of my computer kind of go up. I turned on a noise suppressor so you guys wouldn't hear this really terrible hiss, because I know in a lot of my trailer reactions, because when I do trailer reactions or even these kind of live streams, it takes a lot for my computer to process, because it's streaming my webcam. In today's chat, I have a live screen recording of the chat so you guys could see it. So if you're having issues with my audio, just let me know. I'll fix them. Huh. Why is it? Why didn't? Huh. Buffer is telling me I have to reconnect my Facebook page. Wow! 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 What the heck? Seriously? Maybe I have to. Uh, oh boy! Looks like I could have some trouble posting to my Facebook page. Kind of wish Gabby was here so that I would be able to kind of, we would still be able to discuss with each other, because I could start discussing the episodes right now, but I just need a second. But like I said before, if you guys would like to tell your thoughts, and don't worry about spoilers, this will be a spoiler discussion, please go ahead and let me know your thoughts down below in the chat. Ooh, it looks like it did post to Twitter, because my friend Steven just posted that he could see it now. That's really cool. Pin to top. He, oh, just hit a bit of a snag in our chat, looks like, but it is back on now. So, oh wait, it looks like we're back on. Sorry about that bit of a hiccup. Okay, so yeah, that's yeah. Hopefully, this doesn't keep this whole internet bug doesn't and destroy the chat. I just have one more post to make, and then we'll go ahead and start. But like I said before, if you guys have seen the come on, why? The internet's so buggy today. Yeah, it just keeps going in and out. Admittedly, I'm chatting over Wi-Fi, which isn't ideal, but oh my god, it just keeps going in and out. I'm looking at the kilobit meter in the OBS. It just keeps going up and down, and it's a little unstable at best. It's still, if you guys are techies, it's still in the thousands of kilobytes, but I'm not. I hope it, it can remain. Oh, it's going down, down, up. But yeah, because I don't want to have to pull the plug on the chat and then, um, come back later and then I have to repost the links all over again. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a problem with Spectrum Internet. If you guys are tech heads, maybe you can let me know down below in the description. But hopefully it'll be okay. It looks like it's starting to stabilize. I mean, it's not like it's saying 0 kilobits per second or something really scary like that. But I'll go ahead if there's a major problem. Yeah, you know, now it's just going completely all over the place. But I'll go ahead and start my discussion. So, okay, so Star vs. the Forces of Evil is finally back after a really long hiatus, and we got our first 2 episodes. It seems like the show, I was really confused when they announced the episodes' names, but it sounds like going forward this season, the episodes are going to be half-hour episodes, which I'm sure is going to make YouTubers like Johnson Daypool, because I know he really hates the whole um, 2 15-minute episodes in a half-hour show kind of format. I personally don't mind either way, but now that the Star episodes are half-hour long, it should mean that, we're getting much bigger. Might try turning down the bit rate a bit. Let's go down to 1,000. Okay. I mean, it might be lower quality, but I really don't want to have to restart the stream and then I have to repost everywhere again. So lower bit rate, it's not going to be as high res, but it should help. It looks like it's helping because the kilobit meter is not as bad. But anyway, back to my discussion. So looks like we're going in this half-hour format. It kind of like shows like Gravity Falls, where all the episodes are in this half-hour sort of format. It's kind of a give or take thing for me. I personally don't mind, but it's definitely really, really cool. So my thoughts on the Butterfly Follies is that Butterfly Follies is definitely a really fun episode with some really, really good twists. So where do I even begin? I mean, I don't want to have to summarize the episode because, if you guys want to rewatch the episode, you should be doing that on your own terms. This is a discussion. This is not a summary, but it was definitely a lot of fun. It was a very good introduction, start right where, well, sort of where we left off. Marco said that they've been searching around Muni for a few weeks, Marco, Star, and River, her dad, which I have a feeling River doesn't get under my nerves. I know there's some people out there that really, really, really hate River because he could be very childish and annoying. I know my cousin Anna is not really River's biggest fan, but he didn't really get on my nerves, and the episode was really great in terms of seeing, now Muni is run under Eclipsa. Now that Eclipsa is the queen, monsters can't, are pretty much free from being imprisoned as such. It's kind of funny because I remember when we did our season 4 discussions, when the trailers were coming out, Gabby was saying that her thought process was maybe Eclipsa would give Star the crown at the end of the series because, in the past, Muni has screwed her over in many ways. How she was basically shunned for falling in love with a monster, and when Meteora was born, that stupid King Shastakan was like, I don't want this, let's get Festivia, and basically Star found out her life is a lie, and even though, yeah, that's really bad, the good news is with Eclipse and power, that means, monsters can be, run free and such, which you could argue will still definitely happen when Star is queen because she's warmed up to monsters in the past and so on and so forth. And then, of course, with the Pie Carnival, it's funny, when in the trailers, we saw those actors playing Star, River, and even to extent Ponyhead really terribly. And then they kind of trick us by having Moon come out. And when I saw Moon, I was convinced that, oh yeah, that's definitely Moon Butterfly. And it turned, and because, it was to be expected that she lost her memory because she was in the realm of magic, So I thought that was pretty cool. And it turns out, of course, it's not Moon on stage. It was actually an actor who was portraying Moon pretty well, although he also had kind of very not so nice ways of, like, he was friendly to Star, Marco, and River, but he also believed that, the butterflies were screwing everything up, and of course Star turned him into it. I noticed that when that scene came up, everybody thought that the actor was Moon, and then when it turns out it wasn't Moon, it wasn't, and yeah, it was just totally kind of surprising. When Marco was going up to the actor, and when he, touched the face and the makeup came out, it's just like, oh, it's not Moon at all, it's just an actor. So yeah, I thought that was definitely really cool. As for Globgor, it's really interesting because at the end of season 2, you might remember Eclipsa basically freed herself from Romulus's dimension. Eclipsa was, frozen, and when Moon went to check at the... Actually, it was not the end of season 2, it was the very beginning of season 3 in the battle for Muni. You remember when Moon was there and she was like, oh, Eclipsa isn't free, but when she leaves, the crystal starts to crack, and Eclipsa freed herself. It's very interesting how Globgor isn't immediately set free. In fact, when Eclipsa tries to get her workers to free Globgor, they try hammering the crystal, and the crystals break. So it'll be interesting to see, because I'm pretty sure they're going to set Globgor free at some point. I mean, it's pretty much, a given, just we have to see it, that Globgor is going to get free in season 4. I mean, I'm wondering if Eclipsa can't do it, because if Eclipsa could free Globgor, I feel she would definitely do it. I mean, it's her husband, of course she would. So I'm wondering if the only person could free... Maybe Star, although if Star could do it, why didn't she do it? I imagine they're probably going to have to get somebody like Romulus to do it, but with how paranoid Romulus is, Romulus is the kind of person who's like, if he's even the slightest bit suspicious of somebody, they're going to instantly crystallize. So, I don't know, maybe they'll have to convince Romulus at some point, hey, we need to free Globgor to do something, maybe Gabby's theory that Toffee will come back will come true, and then they have to set Globgor out to help them. But we'll have to find out later on this season, if that's the case. And speaking of which, one of the things that kind of left me scratching my head was when Star goes up to Glossaric to ask for help, and Glossaric, and, Star tells Glossaric, well, I had to go to the Realm of Magic to defeat Toffee. I mean, she technically didn't. She defeated Toffee back on Muni, but in the battle for Muni, when, she was in the Realm of Magic and she faced Toffee, but Toffee got sent back, and we were all worried Star wasn't coming back, and so on and so forth. But she was saying, well, I had to go there in part as part of defeating Toffee, and she also had to go there to rescue Moon. And then Glossaric was like, but oh, do you really think so? Kind of implying there's something up with that, like in terms of, like I'm wondering in terms of like, although, oh, maybe for that part I should save it for Escape from the Pie Folk. But what I was wondering with that was when and Glossaric was kind of like, oh, did you really think you had to go there as part of defeating Toffee? That's the part that leaves my head scratching. Now that I think of it, a part of it was, technically she defeated Toffee on Uni, but I'm almost wondering, is Glossaric basically saying, Toffee wasn't supposed to be defeated then? Or something like that? That's the one theory that I wanted to really leave to you guys, because I'm really unsure of that myself. That's honestly the part I'm least sure to make out of, because it's a real gray area to me just in terms of what's going to happen then. And then, of course, but I think it is a really good idea for a twist, just in terms of, but what if Star wasn't supposed to go to the realm of magic to defeat Toffee just yet? I thought that's a really good kind of head scratcher, leaves you something to think about. And we're probably going to get clarification on that later on in season 4. The really big twist, and this is a really huge spoiler where I have the most mixed feelings on between the 2 episodes, was the twist that it turns out that beach day picture that Star was making such a big deal about is actually not from the past. It's actually from the future. Star said that Father Time gave her that picture, and she tells Marco, Marco is starting to have his doubts in terms of whether they can really find Moon or not. And Star's like, this beach day picture, or because in the picture, Star and Marco look really happy. They're sharing a beach ball together, and she says, I wouldn't be this happy in that picture if we never found my mom, if they never found Moon. And that honestly kind of left me on mixed feelings, because in the context of the show, like in terms of Muni, it makes sense, that they could have a picture like that. But on the other hand, it kind of takes away some of the tension of season 4, just in terms of, will they ever find Moon again? Which I'll get to Escape from the Pie Folk in just a second. But, so I kind of thought, I really don't know about that. Maybe, like, I think in terms of storytelling, that scene would have worked better if Star was really starting to feel really low. And one of my Twitter followers messaged me, is this person no, the person wasn't responding too much. Never mind about that. But I kind of had mixed thoughts on that, because I felt it could have been a great motivator if Star was really feeling down, and maybe they go to Father Time to ask him, do you know for sure what's going to happen? And maybe Father Time would be like, this part I really don't know. Maybe they can't look ahead, but he does tell them that, hey, but I did find this beach day picture, and it would give that sort of ambiguous hope. But the way they present it just kind of leaves me scratching my head. For me, it kind of took away some of the tension. But technically speaking, it does work in Star's world. This idea that, they could see, this bit of a glimpse into the future. So, yeah. And then, of course, with the episode ending on the lead-in to Escape from the Pie Folk, I'm really trying my best to discuss the episode rather than summarize it. But I thought overall Escape from the Pie Folk was a pretty neat introduction to season 4. Picks up kind of where season 4 leaves off on. Oh, I should really mention, everybody talks about the sort of chat that Star and Marco have with Tom. Tom calls Star first, and then Tom calls Marco to say, was I being stupid? And things like that, and Marco was being really reassuring. Which, Yeah, I still kind of feel the way they kind of broke off. I mean, Star was still kind of being all cute with Tom and referring to him as Boo, even though I think she's called Marco that once or something like that. But I still felt the way they kind of broke it off, with Tom finding out that that Star and Marco kissed. I'm still kind of about, because even though they're going in the Stark direction, I still feel like for Tom it would be more bittersweet, because I don't want him to leave Star without feeling much out of it. I get that he's maturing. I'm not saying that he has to go around raging, just like what happened at the Blood Moon Ball and stuff like that. But I was kind of hoping they would leave on a kind of more sympathetic note. Like, he is fine with seeing Star move on, but I could understand if he was being really sad. But anyway, back to that exchange between the three characters. I thought that was pretty cool. So overall, I thought Butterfly Follies was a really good start to season 4. And it's amazing how even this early on in the season, they're already planting some really big twists, especially the ones with Glossaric, which I feel there's some clarity can come from the next episode, which I'll give you guys a second for the people watching to let me know your thoughts. What did you guys think of the Butterfly Follies? Did you like the twists in that episode? Did you like where they're going so far? Did you like where Eclipsa is currently? And by the way, speaking of which, I wasn't expecting this. Like, it made sense for them to do this, but I wasn't expecting this from the ending of season 3. It turns out Eclipsa basically moved everybody to the Monster Temple where Globgor is currently at, which makes sense. I mean, then again, when you consider at the end of season 3, Butterfly Castle got really smashed up from Meteora and Star's battle, which I feel makes sense. I am kind of amazed. Speaking of that battle, I was expecting that the focus of the episode was going to be on Star getting the Mumans to trust her and her family again. Because to be fair, I know that the Muman people have some serious beef with the Butterfly family, and they're saying things like, we think that Star is using her powers to unite with the monsters and destroy her legacy, and also having some real awkward pauses today. And also her parents were hiding secrets, if you remember from the episode Face the Music. So yeah, I mean, on one hand, I did say in my discussions, I didn't think it would be possible to get the Mumans to forgive them and to trust the Butterflies, because, unless they're the most easily led bunch of people. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that the Mumans should never trust the Butterflies ever again or things like that. I'm just saying it's going to be much more of a process. It's not going to be like an overnight sort of a thing, if they're trying to keep the show in a much more realistic of a situation. I'm going to take my hat off. I'm starting to sweat like crazy under the hat. So I definitely feel it's going to be much more of a process over the season. Although it'll be really interesting, though, if they do a thing where, let's say they end season 4 with like this great big battle, and that alone gets the Mumans to trust Star again. But it's kind of strange, because on one hand, if she does something heroic, common sense would say that the Mumans should trust Star. But on the other hand, given just how skeptical the Muman people are they going to be like, ugh, she's destroying more stuff, we can't trust her, bleh. So I don't know, like, I'm expecting this to be much more of a sort of gradual kind of a process, because clearly the Mumans don't trust Eclipsa because they see her as the Queen of Darkness. But I don't really know. I guess technically speaking, they would make it a sort of one-note thing where, like, Star saves the day, but she's already technically saved the Muman people at least on 2 occasions, like when she defeated Toffee, and when she and Eclipsa defeated Meteora, and even then, they just saw destruction. They didn't see that, it's the princess and slash interim queen and the former queen slash current queen saving the day, no, they see her as being really skeptical and stuff. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to go about that. So once again, please let me know your thoughts on the Butterfly Follies episode. I'll give you guys a second to comment before I go on ahead with discussing Escape from the Pie Folk, which Escape from the Pie Folk is a real goodie, you know. But I'll give you guys a second if you need it. Don't be shy, guys. Just let me know. I have a lot of fun discussing these star episodes with you guys, whether it's through the comment section or with something like what I'm doing today through doing a live stream. You know, please let me know your thoughts on the Butterfly Follies before we go forward with Escape from the Pie Folk. Because I'm noticing quite a few people liked the tweet I put out announcing that I'll be live streaming. And I know that my Instagram and followers like when I let them know about live streams. So, you know, don't be shy. Let me know your thoughts. You know, the Star community is a lot of fun with generally friendly people. Oh, Chilo Gomez, hey, what's up, dude? Did you see the Butterfly Follies episode? See if we'll get a response. And Sheila said, "Yeah, I did. What did you think of the episode? You know, don't be afraid to sort of give a sort of critique. You know, let me know what parts of the episode you liked and what parts you didn't like quite as much. You know, because even though I'm a really big Star vs. the Force of Evil fan, you know, I run my YouTube channel as a journalism show. This isn't meant to be a sort of super fan channel. You know." So I want to see what he has to say before we go on. While I wait, let me actually go get my magic book of spells. If you guys see my film set, you know that I keep this. I don't want to drop up the wand. Yes, this is the wand my sis made for my Marco cosplay. He said, I liked it, but it wasn't one of my favorites. Chilo, can you be a little more specific? Like, maybe, like, you don't have to write like a full essay. Just maybe point out in bullet points what did you like and what didn't you like about the episode. And then, of course, show you guys, this is a Star Wallet that my cousins Anna and Andrew got. You know, they were the cousins that were in my Long Beach Comic Expo video. Signed by Darren Epstein herself, I might add. But let me get the magic book of spells, just in case, because I feel like I'm going to reference it. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say Butterfly Follies was like one of my top 5 favorite episodes, but I thought as a starter episode for season 4, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, don't worry about. I don't. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Gilo. Just give me your thoughts. Hmm. Yeah, once again, if you joined the chat, for everyone watching, when the connection was really spotty, I apologize. I know YouTube said yesterday that they were experiencing issues with uploads, but they tweeted right around, I would say, 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time last night that, hey, we got it figured out. And I uploaded one of my videos today, and it seemed okay, was able to fully upload. So, yeah, I don't know. This is really weird. I'm trying to also let my Instagram fans know that I'm live streaming, but it looks like the app is having some trouble uploading. Oh, no kidding. Darren Epstein herself drew that. Wondering if Instagram is having. Let's see. He says, Chilo, what did you say? I kind of like the part where Star was protecting the picture of her and Marco at the beach. Well, yeah, I think we're kind of in the same boat. Not to use the same word you use, but I said that I thought the beach day picture, even though it's really interesting that the twist is that that picture is not from the past, that's from the future. It's just that I feel the way they tell, it's more the story execution I thought was kind of in terms of Star saying, look, I got this picture from Father Time off screen, assumingly, and I wouldn't be this happy in the picture if I never found my mom again. Which, yeah, which, especially when you consider, with Star's own mother, with Moon, how Moon, her mom was killed by Toffee, it's understandable that Star would know if she never found Moon ever again. So, but Chilo, was that a part that you liked, or what did you think? Were there parts where or you were more critical of, like just in terms of you didn't like as much? Because me personally, as far as the episode itself, I thought it was a good starter. The only kind of thing that I had the most mixed feelings for was how they presented the beach day picture. Let's see. One of my Twitter followers says, it's been down for a while. Facebook is the exact same way. Some cyber attack on Facebook caused the servers to no longer connect, or causing the HTTP 500 server. Oh, okay, Jesus. So, let's see. So, do you think it's like they're telling us? Chilo says, so do you think it's like they're telling us that she's going to find her parents? I know the mom was killed, but she could fake her death. Chilo, did you see Escape from the Pie Folk? I'm waiting for his response because as far as faking her death, I'm gonna wait for his response before going forward further. So, It's too bad if Instagram is really if because I was able to post a link on my Facebook page, but Instagram has seems to be having the most trouble, which is a shame because a surprising amount of you guys actually come to this live stream from Instagram. No, that was one of the episodes I didn't see. Okay, well, Chilo, I'm going to be discussing Escape from the Pie Folk, so unless you don't mind spoilers, you may want to like duck out of my discussion of that episode because I'm going to get into this uh, right when I'm done responding to you. So, no, that was on the episode I didn't see. Just on a side note, I noticed that there was quite a few people saying, where could I watch this episode? Because, I know I've seen some people go on my Twitter when I said that, hey, you can watch season 4 on Disney Now, and I noticed I have quite a few responders and followers from different countries like Poland and the Dominican Republic saying, hey, we don't have Disney Now in our country. So, and I'm really sorry about that. Sheila says, I'm fine with spoilers. I'm not that one guy who can't hear anything about something until I watch it. Well, okay, that's totally cool because Escape from the Pie Folk is just a lot of the, as with many Star episodes, a lot of the good stuff is the spoilery stuff. Did you have some more to say about Butterfly Follies before we moved on? Because you sounded pretty critical about the beach day photo, but were there other parts where you liked more or were more critical towards? Did you have more thoughts? And mind you, guys, I'm not just talking to Chilo. I also want for the people watching, I want everybody to, come in and tell me your thoughts. As long as you're being, respectful, as long as you're not going to say things like, you're a monster for not liking this, but yeah. I welcome all discussion of both of these episodes. Ooh, I'm noticing, yeah, it's being really wonky. I wonder if YouTube is also part of that server issue. Maybe they didn't have all the issues ironed out. Why is it whenever I say a word that has the letter S in it? And Gilo says, well, I think the story is kind of a good but not great. You can move on to the next thing now. Okay, that's cool. So, alrighty, so Escape from the Pie Folk, and oh my god, that episode is freaking marvelous. I really enjoyed that episode, pretty much for the same reasons for a lot of people that did manage to see that episode. Which, by the way, if you don't mind spending a couple dollars, you can buy the episode on iTunes. That's how I watched the episode. But my Escape from the Pie Folk, really, really good episode. So, of course, it's the episode where Star, Marco, and River go to the land of the Pie Folk to, find Moon, of course. And I thought the antics between our lead characters and the Pie Folk was, the kind of banter between them was kind of interesting. I imagine a lot of River fans are really gonna really hate the first couple minutes of that episode. It's the part where River literally sinks Star, Marco, and River's boat because he's convinced, like, there's this kind of valet parking kind of guy who's like, hey, you gotta pay me to park your boat, and River sinks the boat instead because he's concerned that the dude is going to swindle. And, of course, I thought that was pretty cool. There was a couple other scenes where they have to deal with getting swindled by the Pie Folk, and then, of course, it leads them to that dude who turns out to be the Pie King. I'm honestly kind of surprised that scene, where you might have seen in that clip that was posted before the episode came out, where the pie folk traps. No, Chilo, mayonnaise isn't an instrument. SpongeBob reference. But the scene where the pie folk, kind of captures Star, Marco, and River and tries to auction them off is actually a really short, not even really suspenseful kind of a scene. I'm surprised how that scene was kind of, I don't want to say completely inconsequential, but I thought it was just like, whoa, the scene's over and that's it. And I also thought the way they got out of it through, because it turns out Full Duke, you remember the jester, was, or frees them by pretending to be some sort of cloaked figure that saves them, and it turns out that Full Duke is a pie folk herself, which, by the way, I can't believe I didn't know this from the clips. You know that, remember in the clips, Marco, instead of getting his hands on a bloodhound, he finds this monkey. And it turns out, I seriously can't believe I forgot this when I did my trailer discussions, that the monkey is actually Full Duke's monkey. You might remember she had a monkey in season 3. See, Chilo says, is horseradish an instrument? And I really liked the episode. I bought it on iTunes too. I'm guessing, are you talking about the SpongeBob episode Band Geeks? Which, Band Geeks surprisingly was a really likable episode. It's the episode where the song Sweet Victory came from, if you guys have never seen it. I would say, because, I'm not even really big into SpongeBob. I kind of reported on the whole Sweet Victory campaign because it was part of the current events in the animation industry. But I thought Band Geeks was fast-paced, but a really enjoyable episode. And now I actually listen to Sweet Victory on a regular basis. But anyway, back to Star and Chilo. I hope you can check out the episode on iTunes. And it's kind of, I seriously just can't believe that, I didn't know that the monkey was actually Full Duke's. Because if you remember in Battle for Muni, when River was taking over, Chilo says the Super Bowl destroyed Sweet Victory. Instead, we got sicko mode. The thing about that is, I think we all knew sicko mode, aka Travis Scott, was going to be there because, they were announcing, yay, Maroon 5 is going to be there, and so is Travis Scott. It's just that the problem was the way they led into the Super Bowl performance was after Maroon 5 got done with, I think, a couple of their songs. We saw Squidward come up and say, alright, here's the moment you were all waiting for, and we all thought it was going to be Sweet Victory because we saw the SpongeBob characters in their band outfits, and they were going, bam, 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 and then when that comet was coming toward the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I was watching it live with my sister, and I was like, oh, here it comes, and then sicko mode, which... Ugh. I mean, I don't have anything against Travis Scott or anything like that. It's just I still really feel like they should have used Sweet Victory in the Super Bowl. I mean, as I said, if any ongoing show can have their song played in the Super Bowl, it would have been SpongeBob. But I don't know. I'm still really confused because I heard the Dallas Stars played it at one of their games, but I read somewhere that the Dallas Stars usually play Sweet Victory as their victory song anyway, so, I don't know, but I am glad to see that, the Dallas Stars actually did care, and Chilo posts a emoji of a crab. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the monkey in Escape from the Pie Folk, because you remember the monkey... He, got in this kind of barrage with River in one of the episodes in Battle for Muni, and then when the party was over and River was trying to get his phonograph to work, he was like, Full Duke, where are you? And my River accent is so bad, and he wakes Full Duke up, and he was like, oh, there you are, Full Duke, can you help me get my music thing working? And Full Duke is like, where's my monkey? Because I think what happened was River threw the monkey out the window or something like that. So, but yeah, there you go. The monkey was actually Full Duke's all this time. And the episode, I like how it tried to throw us for a loop by having, Star talk to Full Duke and say, hey, we thought my mom would be here because the pies look just like hers. And then Full Duke was like, no, sorry, Star, that's not actually that's not your mom's pie. In fact, let me show you guys a picture of the pie that Star was talking about. Let me see. Me and my sis, we really need to make this pie one of these days. The Magic Book of Spells has the recipe, but this is the pie that Star was talking about. The Munipendence Day pie, and which, by the way, speaking of which, in the prior episode in Butterfly Follies, Star said that Moon used to make those pies when she was a little girl. So, because I thought, when I was doing my trailer discussions, what I thought happened, because we didn't really see the pies on screen in prior Star episodes, I thought it was some kind of, like, hidden family secret. Like, they haven't made those kind of pies in years. I mean, they were dropping hints all this time that Star really enjoys baking. We've seen her make cupcakes and brownies before, but they never really showed the pies or anything like that. So, but no, it sounds like they've been keeping this up for, years. It didn't just stop because it didn't just stop because Comet died or something like that. But anyway, in Escape from the Pie Folk, when Star shows Full Duke the pie and says, this is why we came here, my mom makes pies just like this. And Full Duke was like, sorry, no, this is not your mom's pie. In fact, the butterfly on it, that's actually a moth. And so, yeah, so I thought that was a really kind of clever thrown for a loop. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe what happened is, maybe it's a kind of thing where Comet's pies are inspired by... Chilo says maybe there could be a plot twist in a future episode and it was actually her mother's. I guess that could be possible. Like, what I was thinking is maybe it's like a thing where Comet got the recipe from the Pie Folk and, kind of it inspired her sort of pie. It's kind of like how you see in, like, different cultures, different countries inspire each other's foods. Like I heard somewhere, like, for instance, Pad Thai, the noodle dish, was actually inspired by the Chinese. It's that sort of thing, or something like that. Or, like, I was saying with how, like, different foods cross cultures, and maybe that sort of a thing. So, I don't know. So, but anyway, and then they go into, they actually find Moon in literally in the inside of a volcano, which, by the way, we know that the inside of the volcano is actually not lava. It's actually, as Full Duke puts it, lukewarm tomato juice. And of course, Moon is there, but unfortunately her memory isn't. So, yeah, I'm guessing that being on the realm of magic really did Moon in. Because what I was thinking was, even though Star went back to the realm of magic to find Moon, and even though she lost her memory also, Star basically got it back when she came back to Muni. But I guess maybe because Moon was there even longer. It's still a mystery as to why did she go there in the first place. Like, I know she went there to retreat Eclipse of Meteor, but I'm just kind of amazed that was, like, the first thing she went to. She didn't just open a portal and go back to Butterfly Castle. So, it's really kind of strange. If you guys have, like, theories on that, and maybe Chilo, you have an idea too, maybe you can let me know in the live discussion. But, of course, they find her, can't remember her memory, and when they try to confront her, and, of course, the Pie King comes back, you might remember from the trailer, the guy with the hook, the Pie King tries to tell Star, the thing is Moon is technically Pie Folk because, and the story goes that the person we came to know as Festivia was actually a child left behind on Muni, and she was originally from the land of the Pie Folk, and the Magic High Commission took her in, and, as part of Shastakan's scheme of getting rid of Meteora, Festivia became basically the heir to the throne, and that's where, their legacy begins. So, yeah, because I think I even said in a prior video that what I was speculating is maybe Festivia, is... Like, I think I said that what I was suspecting is maybe Festivia comes from a family of, like, bakers or something like that. And, of course, it turns out it's the Pie Folk. So that explains why, from Festivia onwards, that's why Comet was a chef and Moon, made pies. And, of course, Star, enjoys making, all sorts of pastries herself, even if they don't necessarily always taste good. If you remember from the sleepover episode, she made brownies, and her friends didn't really like them too much. It's so funny. This all reminds me of when I interviewed Ricky Simons, Gur's actor from Invader Zim, and I asked him, would you trust anything that Gur the robot would make? And he says, no, I would never. Maybe I should ask Darren, if Star made you a cake, would you eat it? Or a pie, probably more appropriately. But, yeah. And then, of course, Star's kind of wondering maybe Moon does belong there. And we all think, and it got kind of tense for a second. Even I was wondering, oh, how are you going to get out of this predicament, Star? And funny enough, I was kind of spoiled in terms of, I knew, like, I heard somebody say before that I lost my train of thought. I heard that Moon and Star, get ready for this, Chilo, this is a massive spoiler, sing together, but I wasn't sure when that happened or why they would even sing. And that's when it leads into, like, when Star starts contemplating, maybe she does belong here. And I think that it's the Pie King's kind of scheme. Like, he's trying to manipulate Moon because she's lost her memory and stuff, and it's like, hey, she lost her memory, but she's technically Pie Folk, so we can keep her and just have her make pies, and she'll never know. So I think that was all part of his scheme. What did Chilo say? It's kind of weird that I started my YouTube channel a couple months ago, and all these people I look up to for years, like you, I get to talk to them. Well, yeah, Chilo, the thing about it is I usually get a chance to interview them when I see them at events. I knew Ricky Simons was going to be at Long Beach Comic Expo, and that's why we often get the chance to interview him. But I would say the best way to really, I guess you could say, earn the trust of these artists is, stay in touch with them on social media, talk to, post in their comment section. I'm not saying you have to, like, become friends with these sort of people, but you're getting your foot in the door and, like, getting connections with them and letting them know you can trust them. And I think that's why I was able to interview them. And I'm not gonna lie, not to brag or anything, but when I interviewed Adam MacArthur at the Long Beach Comic Expo, we knew he was going to be there because he was posting on Twitter announcing that he was going to go walking around the expo. And then, so me and my sis, we were walking around the convention, and we bumped in, and then we were looking for him and, like, where is he going to be? And then all of a sudden we turned around and he was there. And when he saw us, he was like, "Are you Bobby?" And I was like, oh my god, he knows my name? And yeah, so, which he does, he knows I'm on Instagram and Twitter, but yeah. So, when I make connections with these, I'm not saying, you have to become, like, close friends with them or anything like that. It's just a part of, being a fan of this industry and getting to meet them and such. And Chilo says, I've always wanted to meet the entire cast of SpongeBob. I feel, definitely, that would definitely be really cool. And while I'm not the biggest SpongeBob fan, which, my condolences to Steven Hillenburg. I mean, I think it would have been cool to meet him. It is a shame. It's sad that he passed on as early as he did. Although I think it would be really cool to meet Tom Kenny, because I'm a fan of Tom Kenny's work on various other shows. Like, he was in the Powerpuff Girls. I think he was in Cat Dog because the voice of Rancid Rabbit sounds a lot like the Ice King from Adventure Time. So, yeah, but if I could meet anybody from the SpongeBob crew, it would definitely be somebody like Tom Kenny. So yeah, but anyway, back to the episode. In the future, I think, unless I think I'm gonna stick more to my discussion and leaving it open to you guys at the very end. But it's still fun regardless. What was I gonna say? The song that Star and Moon sang together. Oh my god, that song is so heartwarming. It didn't make me cry. I'm really weird when it comes to scenes that make people cry. You know, I get emotional in scenes like I cried in a couple scenes in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and at the very end of Schindler's List, you know, the scene where Ben Kingsley's character goes up to, Oscar Schindler and says, the reason there's over 1,000 the Jewish lives you saved, they're here because of you, and there's going to be multiple generations. And I'm getting chills just thinking of that scene because it just shows the impact of that scene. I thought that was, scenes like that really get me choked up. I remember, I was just watching that scene, just for the sake of it one day when I was out to lunch in college, and I started, getting really choked up. But just because I didn't cry at the in the Pie song doesn't mean I hate it. I thought that moment was wonderful, and also I may not be the best judge when it comes to singing voice, but oh my god, Eden Shear and Gray Griffin, the actors that play A Star and Moon, and I loved hearing their voices. I mean, I heard somewhere Eden is a singer, and I thought hearing her voice was just really, really lovely. I mean, I know she sang the song, if you remember from the first season, that song, I think Earth is a pretty place. Like that song. It was honestly such a really cool song that it honestly makes me want to get good at singing, because we don't usually hear Gray and Eden Shear sing. Eden Shear, heard a couple times, but not super often, since Star has a share of songs, but they don't come around super often, it's not really a musical show. And Gray Griffin, I'm trying to think, because I've seen Gray in numerous shows. I mean, I've seen her act in shows like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Fairly Odd Parents, Avatar: The Last Airbender, even a little bit of Adventure Time. I know, oh yeah, she played the character Amanda in the video game Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. The closest I've probably come to her singing was probably Clifford the Big Red Dog. There was an episode where Emily Elizabeth and her friends really wanted to meet the singer, and they all got together and sang this musical number at the very end of the episode. Wow, I mean, talking about Clifford, that's going way back to when I was a kid. That's easily 15 or so years ago. But that was easily one of the very first shows I got to see Gray in. And it's kind of a cool evolution that we've seen her play all these characters that were kids or in their teens, although granted the character in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker is an adult herself. But it's really cool, we're kind of seeing this evolution of she's going from playing kid and teen characters like Azula, Vicky, and Emily Elizabeth, and now we're seeing her play adult roles like Amanda from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and Queen Moon. So I just kind of feel that's a really great thing to see. But that song moment was absolutely marvelous. I really enjoyed that, and I could definitely see why it made some people cry. And God, I mean, I really want to hear Gabby sing that song, because the thing about Gabby is she's a singer, and I think she gets that from her mom, because I know her mom likes to sing and do shows and that kind of stuff. Maybe one of these days, or if I can get her in a future Butterfly Show live stream, maybe we could have her sing the song. Who knows, maybe next episode. I don't want to make promises because our schedules are all over the place, but maybe in a future episode we could start off by her singing the Pie song. So I thought that was just really, really great. I love that moment. It honestly makes me want to be a better singer myself. So yeah, and as for when they escape, and even when they escape, the thing about, oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot to bring this up. The thing about that song when it's brought up is that it's like the one thing that helps Moon sort of, recover a bit of her memory. Like, Star starts off singing the song because she's sad, and then Moon comes in and fills in the lyrics. And when they finish up, Moon is in tears, and she's like, I don't remember anything, but I definitely remember this song. And it's a huge kind of link that gets Moon to trust Star and say that, she knows a lot of things that I have forgotten. And so, yeah, that's what allows her, one of my pieces of equipment was about to fall over. But anyway, so that's what gets her. And even though to trust them. And even when they make their escape, Moon says, I may not remember much, but I know I belong with you guys. And I thought that was really, really sweet. Chilo says, I gave the stream a thumbs up and a like. Thank you, Chilo. And I do hope you get a chance to see that episode because it's really fantastic, Oh, for me, it's just as emotionally impactful as something like the song that Ruberiot sang for Star or the Blood Moon Ball Dance. Like, it's just that level of euphoric magnificentness, if that's a word. So yeah, so I'm very curious to see how they're going to jog Moon's memory back. Just from that one scene alone, I'm pretty sure they will. And even just from other kind of scenes in the clips for Star, or it's kind of indications that Moon will eventually get back in the groove and have her memory back. And I know because I've seen in one of the clips, River is all running around covered in this kind of pink goop, and Moon is just looking at him like, what the hell is going on? I still think in later episodes her memory's still not gonna come back just yet, only because if you remember, there's a scene in one of the previews where she picks up, it looks like she's gonna try playing Eclipse's guitar, and Eclipse is giving her tips in terms of you should really make it go and things like that. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to jog her memory back. So yeah, but I think it's really key that she originally remembered how to make those pies, and she knows that after she sings the song with Star, now that she's going back to Muni with them and such. Very I know some people might say, well, maybe the pie folk taught her, but maybe they could teach her how to make it by hand, but only Moon would know how to use magic. The Pie King wouldn't know how to teach Moon that. So, Shiloh, I'll get to your question in a minute. I wanted to wrap up my thoughts on Escape from the Pie Folk. If I did have a problem with Escape from the Pie Folk, I would say I kind of thought the Pie King was a little underutilized, just in terms of, because it seems like the trailer was building him up as this sort of antagonist for this episode, and he definitely does his thing. He sends off his sort of minions to come and chase these Star, Marco, and River, to stop them from taking Moon back, and they have to fight his goons and that kind of stuff. But aside from that, I kind of felt like they didn't really do much with the character, I should say they did, but I felt they could have done a little bit more. Maybe make him more of a proactive sort of a character, at least in terms of making him much more of a threat. I'm wondering if they're going to turn the Pie King into a sort of secondary villain, just like how in the first two seasons the main villains were Ludo and Toffee, and then Meteora was kicking around as Miss Heinous, and and sort of became the side villain. You know, she came back in season 2, and then she became a main villain in the sort of bottom half of season 3. I don't know if they're going to do a thing where the Pie King becomes like a new sort of principal villain. I kind of doubt that, but I think we'll have to wait and see. You know, the only slimmest bit of possibility that could happen is just the fact that Star is a show with all sorts of twists and turns and unpredictability that really, I think anything could happen. So, but overall, Pie Folk was overall a absolutely magnificent episode. I really liked it. I would go as far as to say it's my favorite episode between the two. If you got even if you sat around, guys, and listened to my discussion, please go see this episode. I really advise you, please go watch the episode. It's really spectacular. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep the stream on in case in case Chilo or anybody else out there would like to leave their thoughts in terms of where they think the show will go. So, but I will give let's see, Chilo left a couple more comments. He asked, "Hey, I wanted to ask a question in Toy Story. Is Bo Peep a Barbie doll or a glass?" I think. Oh, it's talking about Bo. I think I heard somewhere, at least in terms of appearance, I think Bo is a porcelain doll or something like that. And I don't think she's a Barbie doll, though. Oh, because, you know, if she was, she would make... I think the filmmakers would make it more apparent. Because, you know, it wouldn't be something she had to hide anyway. But I think Bo is supposed to be a porcelain doll. You know, chime in the comments if I'm right or wrong on that. I mean, don't quote me. That's from what I'm guessing. And Chilo says, I think I'll just be a background villain or enemy. I think he's referring to the Pie King. Because, I don't know. I'm not saying that the Pie King needs to be dead. I'm not saying he has to be killed in order for him to never come back. But I just feel like this isn't the end of the Pie King. I wouldn't be surprised if... I mean, I think it's motivation in itself that he tries to go and get, you know, Moon back. I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually going to try to go to Muni and, you know, try to get Moon back or something like that. Which kind of leads me into what I was saying about Glossaric. You know, when Glossaric was saying, you know, did you have to go to the realm of magic? I'm kind of wondering if, like, they're kind of debating, you know, where is Moon's place going to be? And I think it might even lead into how the series will end, you know, because Gabby and I talked before about, you know, how are they going to deal with Moon and Eclipsa, and she was saying maybe Eclipsa will give Star the throne back, because, you know, Eclipsa will be like, yeah, the Butterfly family hasn't been the nicest to me. I mean, Star has probably been the nicest to Eclipsa, but she feels that, you know, Star could not only does she have the trust of the monsters in general, but also Star would have more of a chance of convincing the Munian people to trust her than Eclipsa. But what I was kind of thinking is maybe they're going to toy with this idea that Moon might not go back to being queen and she'll give the throne over to Star, and then she might just go and become, you know, a chef in herself, just like Comet. I'm kind of curious, though, because I just can't see, like, if Moon gets her memory back. I'll get to your question in a second, Chilo. If Moon gets her memory back, I just can't see her, like, going back to the Pieful, you know, island and just being their cook. Like, I would imagine Moon could at least be, like, a really good strategic person. Or maybe she could be, like, the future Munian general, you know, or something like that. Like, I think that would actually be a really good sort of role. You know, because I know in fanfiction, some people out there go as far as to kill Moon off, which, to be fair, we were all, like, I was even one of the people concerned that they were going to kill Moon off. Like, the first time I saw Moon in her armor and the swords, I said to myself, dead, because I was concerned that they were going to kill her off. and things like that. But I discussed in one of my earliest Butterfly Show episodes that I think that would just be really, really grim, especially since Moon has already lost her mother. So I honestly just don't think they'll do that. I'm not really sure what they'll have Eclipsa do. Maybe Eclipsa will become like a sort of spokesperson for the monsters, or that sort of thing. I guess you could say it's kind of like how in parliamentary countries like Canada, they have like a member of parliament that represents a different part of each province. Maybe they could make Eclipsa the sort of member of parliament that represents the monster village, or I think they call it something like New Monster Town or something like that. Which, speaking of which, if you guys actually brought pie, I don't feel too bad if you didn't bring pie. I just brought my Subway meatball sandwich. But anyway, I just want to check my social media stats for just a second. But again, guys, don't be afraid to leave me your thoughts on these episodes, because I really want to hear some, I really want to discuss these with you. And some of the theories I have are admittedly really gray area. Yeah. By the way, in case you guys are wondering why I look down so much in my videos and live streams, it's because I'm looking at my iPad for notes. Because my computer, I'm already using my computer to live stream and check the live chat. So, yeah. But, yeah, so I'm really curious to see what are they going to do with Eclipsa and Moon if Star does take over. Because that's the really neat thing about Star. I even told Adam this when I met him at Long Beach Comic Expo. Like, even if I can guess where the show is going, just wondering how are they going to make things work. That in itself is a lot of fun to watch. Because even in Battle for Munich, you remember when we all thought Star was dead or she was not coming back from the realm of magic? I knew they weren't going to kill her off, but at the same time, I was panicking because I was wondering, what the hell are they going to do? How is she going to come back and stuff? And then, of course, she turned into Butterfly Mode Star, which I guess you could say some may have saw that coming, just in terms of we already saw Star turn into Muberty Star, but we weren't expecting it to connect with what they did. So yeah, but let me know your thoughts down below in the chat. What do you think they're gonna do with Moon, Eclipse, and even Meteora at the end of the series? Although that being said, I think it would have been a really dark ending. Like, could you imagine if, like, let's say they made Eclipsa bad and they killed Moon and Eclipsa off, and Star or Meteora, their daughters, are the ones left. Like, that could create an interesting parallel, but my god, that would be such a grim ending, Now, I'll get to comments. Chilo says, just one question. You don't have to do videos on it, but are you going to make videos on the new Sonic movie leaks? I don't know. I generally don't like doing videos on leaks and rumors because they're not concrete. And, when people hear rumors, they start, panicking and, going around and spreading it as fact. Just like how in the Star community, everybody was panicking that season 4 was the end, even before Darren FC herself officially announced it. And I was like, come on, guys! You have to get confirmation for. Like, I heard some of the tweets came from the artists behind Star, but I think they were taken out of context and things like that. So, Shilo asked me, "Are you going to make videos on the new song?" I don't think so. I'm gonna wait for a Sonic trailer to do a reaction towards. I have been following it privately, just in terms of I saw that poster that everybody was freaking out over. I even heard relatively recently from one of the YouTubers I watched, like, there was this rumored design that this might be what Sonic looks like, and he looks really freaky with really big eyes, and just, yeah, I mean, it already sounds like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is in a real shaky standing. I mean, is it a good movie? We don't know until we go see it ourselves, but it already looks like it's kind of on shaky ground to begin with. So, but I'm gonna wait for a trailer to do a discussion. I heard there was this rumor that there was supposed to be a trailer coming out, but I couldn't find the source of that rumor myself. I heard the rumors said that they were going to use. If this is true, I heard that they were going to use the song "Gangsta's Paradise," and I'm just like, oh no, because I like the song "Gangsta's Paradise," but I could see it going two ways. Where if they try to make it look epic and Sonic is kicking ass and that kind of stuff, then I'll be okay with it. But if they try to make Sonic look cool and egotistical, because if you've heard the song Gangsta's Paradise, the song starts off with this kind of beat that goes dun 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 dun. Like, I just pictured them doing like close-up shots of like Sonic, he's walking up, they're doing like close-ups of like his shoes and his hands and his hair, and then they get to his face and they try to make him look boss. Chilo says LOL gangster Sonic movie. But I'm just like, this movie is just, it's about as on shaky ground as like the Detective Pikachu movie. I mean, because I felt the Detective Pikachu movie, it sounds like its story, at least from the trailers, the story doesn't sound very interesting, and the designs are really like freaky. Like, it's like the Pokemon equivalent of the Uncanny Valley, if you will. Especially Apom. I mean, that literally made me scream. Apom is supposed to be wide-eyed and cute and smiley. Not, ah, like the scary kind of thing. I literally screamed, just what the frick are they up to? So just, yeah. So Chilo says LOL gangster Sonic movie, but I don't really know. But please, I'll leave the stream open for maybe a few more minutes for any of you guys who have any more theories. You know, please don't be shy. Let me know your thoughts on the new Star episodes. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat, and I can get back to you right now. You know, this isn't like my regular videos where it might take me a while for me to respond. So. Yeah. And I always try to respond to you guys as soon as I can, you know. Anime Expo 2019 exhibitor list. I know, you know, I didn't go to Anime Expo last year because unfortunately my sis was recovering from some sort of injury at the time. And also, the year before we went, it's packed. Like, if you guys seen pictures of just how crowded Anime Expo is, especially in recent years, I mean, it literally feels like you're huddled up together with all these people. It's just like, oh my god, it feels like you're walking through like a major city or something like that. Like, I'm very tempted to say, I almost wish it's that they would just limit tickets for Anime Expo. I don't know if they're doing a thing where they're just letting as many people come as they want, but I just feel like that's potentially dangerous. What happens if there's like, you know, like a fire or some sort of attack and, you know, everybody has to run out the door? It's going to be really hectic. I think that's a safety issue, to be really quite honest. Although that being said, and the last time I went to Anime Expo, which was around 2 years ago, it was basically where I got my start in as a cosplayer, because it was the first time I went to a convention, and lots of people were recognizing me as Blood Moon Marco. You know, lots of people were like coming up to me and taking pictures and saying, "Oh, hey, look, it's Marco," and that's why I became a cosplayer. Not that, you know, I really appreciate the praise, and it really helps when my sis is there, because she was the one who basically made the costume what it is. But I think it's definitely really cool, you know. And the last time I went to WonderCon, pretty much when I got to the door, there was, I think it was somebody who was cosplaying Peridot was like, "Hey, Marco!" And well, that time I was cosplaying as Cape Marco, you know, the one with the red hoodie and the cape. But it's definitely really fun to cosplay, and I'll definitely be doing it again for the upcoming Blood Moon Ball, which, as you guys know, is the farewell to Muni event that will be taking place at the Gallery Nucleus in Alhambra, California, and I hope to see you guys there. I know that I'll definitely be going as Blood Moon Marco, and, you know, I'm honestly so pumped for that event that I'm even considering renting a higher quality camera for that event. You know, because the camera I used, you could even see it behind me, my Nikon D7000. I really like it, but I really want to move up to a camera that has a larger sensor. You know, I want a DSLR that has a sensor that's the same size as 35 millimeter film. I mean, I don't want to give you guys. I don't want to like just go all out on tech and confuse the hell out of you guys. But I do want to say that I really want to gear up for this event, and I hope I can rent this camera that I'm about to show you from the Sammy's Camera. That's the camera store that I got to try out a new Panasonic mirrorless camera at. Like, I really want to rent something like this. If you're one of my photography viewers, the Nikon D610, which has a 24 megapixel full frame sensor, takes 1080p video, and has, at least from what I can tell, much more video friendly features than my D7000. You know, because I found out as of recently that I could actually rent cameras from that store, and I'm not gonna rent it for every assignment because I'm still gonna use my D7000 to film my regular videos and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. Chilo says, I'm still here if you were wondering. Chilo, do you have any final thoughts on Butterfly Follies? Did you get a chance to check out Escape from the Pie Folk? Yeah. Now, once again, guys, I apologize if the stream has been going in and out. But yeah, once again, everyone else out there, I really want to hear what you guys have to say about Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk. And once again, don't be afraid of spoilers. This was meant to be a spoiler discussion anyway. Chilo says yes. When you say yes, do you mean you watched Escape from the Pie Folk? Or did you have more to say on the Butterfly Follies? Just say it, dude. I'm wondering maybe in the future I'll do a thing where because the reason I do live chats like this, where I do it in this sort of red box, is because when I do trailer discussions, I try to keep the trailers a bit more confined so that the copyright censors don't pick it up, even though it's fair use, because I'm telling you guys about a trailer and all that sort of stuff. But maybe in the future I might do full screen, so this might be the last time I do a episode or movie discussion. Actually, nah. If I'm solo, I want to do it full screen, but if I'm doing a discussion with Steven and Gabby, I think it's best because I don't want to screen record, do a sloppy screen recording like I did in the past. But Chilo, what else did you have to say? Because now that would be a really good time to respond to you guys since I'm here. So don't be shy, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk, and don't be afraid to spoil. This was meant to be a spoiler discussion anyway. Yeah, one of my YouTube subscribers wasn't kidding. I'm I'm having a lot of trouble accessing my Facebook page. Which, by the way, not to talk out of my comfort zone or something like that, as my YouTube stream is going in and out. Not to talk out of my comfort zone or anything like that. Don't call the police if when Facebook is down. That's really moronic, to be really blunt. Like, really, you call 911 when your house is on fire or if you're suffering a heart attack. You don't call emergency if your social network is down. Like, really, especially if you're just there to message your friends. I mean, I guess maybe in an emergency, but but still, well, you should be phone calling them directly. So maybe that's why it hasn't been spreading on Facebook all that much. Same goes for other online services too, whether it's Twitter or PlayStation Network. I'm honestly wondering, what am I gonna do for the Blood Moon Ball? I know there's gonna be a costume contest, and I am thinking of entering it. Although it would be really nice if I could find somebody to cosplay with, for Blood Moon Star. It's funny when I went to the Long Beach Comic Expo. My cousin Anna was like, I forgot why we brought this up, but I was telling her about, like, she's, more of a casual fan of Star, but I told her, I was talking to her about Song Day Star. You might remember with the big white dress. And when I first saw Song Day Star Marco, I was like, cutest couple! Like, I was watching the episode at Gabby's place, and the second I saw them, I was like, pause! I have to see! And it's just like I just thought they were the cutest couple, And it's really, like cool to see Marco, kind of wearing more of an aficionado sort of an outfit. Although he said in the live chat that the shoulder tassels on the Prince outfit were not really good. But I thought that was just really cute. And I was just like, oh, that's one cosplay I really, really want to do, but I can't find somebody to go with a Star. And she said, we'll do it one of these days. Although I'm very curious to see where in the heck are we going to find a dress that's like a Song Day Star. You guys didn't hear my stomach growl, did you? Yeah, this one. Hold on. This outfit. Yeah, that would be absolutely joyous if I could cosplay as Song Day Marco. Yeah. I was kind of joking with Gabby the other day and saying, wouldn't it be funny if I got because I'm expecting quite a few people to cosplay as Blood Moon Star Marco, and so will I. And it's just like, what if we just got a bunch of Blood Moon Marco cosplayers together and we just sang boy band songs. Like, we just sang Just Friends and we make it look like we're the Backstreet Boys. I'm so stupid sometimes. Star Butterfly has aesthetics. Hi! Did you see the Butterfly Follies? What'd you say? OMG, I should cosplay, sir. Yes, you should! Um, are you good at making cosplays, Star Butterfly aesthetics? I mean, after all, I have blonde hair and blue eyes. Yeah, that's perfect! Speaking of cosplays, I gotta admit, like, when I was interviewing the people at Long Beach Comic Expo, it was kind of weird because normally, even when I go to conventions, like, I've done convention videos for my college, when I interview people, they weren't, doing it in character. But when I was at that convention, nearly everybody wanted to be the, well, not nearly everybody, I would say half the people we interviewed were just going as themselves, and then like the other half were just completely in character, like the dude that cosplayed as Thor, and the dude that was cosplaying as Doc Brown. Like, you might have seen it, like when Gabby was interviewing the dude who was cosplaying as Doc Brown, and she was like, "Oh, hi, Doc Brown, how are you?" And I'm not saying that's a complaint or anything. I definitely think that's really, really cool. It's just like it was something that I wasn't expecting because most cosplayers I interview, at places like WonderCon, Long Beach Comic Con, and things like that, just it was, I don't know, and also, I'm not really sure if I can go in character as Marco. I mean, I guess like personality wise, I'm similar to Marco in that I'm very insecure. I feel misunderstood. My dad points out that I kind of sound like Marco, but I don't really know. And besides, nobody does screams as good as Adam MacArthur. Let's see, what does our butterfly aesthetics say? Hey, yes, I love Butterfly Follies, and also I tried to cosplay as Star once. Keep going. If you could cosplay as Star, which one of her outfits would you like to try? Says, well, I have to go shower, but will you still be live afterwards? It depends. Like, I'll try to stay on live as much as I can. This was meant to be more of an episode discussion, and now we're kind of getting into the tail end. But, we'll see. If you want to come back and chat, I'm definitely down with that. I'll probably still be discussing other things. She says, or, well, I shouldn't be, assuming that kind of stuff. Oh, and I'd like to try the blue muni dress she has. I mean, yeah, that would definitely be really cool. Funny enough, when I saw your profile picture, I thought for a second, is that the dress that Muni, is that the dress that Star wore in the very first episode? But yeah, I think that would definitely be really, really cool. Says, okay, bye, I'll come back and chat when I can. Since I've got time, I mean, I think I'm gonna go get something like a drink of water or something like that. For the people watching, just let them know in the chat that I'll be back in a second. So, all right. So I'm gonna go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay. Alrighty, so yeah, because I've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. Just doing a lot on my throat. Yeah. But anyway, noticing somebody on Twitter, one of my most prominent followers, Jeffrey Hyde, is asking me, or actually not asking me. He says that is why I want to get Marco's Prince outfit, also because I think it makes things interesting cosplay wise. Yeah, I think he said he wanted to do a thing where like he would have Prince Marco on one half of him and another character on his back or something like that. But once again, don't be afraid to tell me guys your thoughts on Butterfly Follies or Escape from the Pie Folk, or we could even talk about season 4 just in general. Are you guys excited for like Curse the Blood Moon or something like that? Just like the live chat we had last time. Jeffrey says, "Give me a minute. Need to switch sources." Yeah, not to say I don't want to respond to comments on Facebook and Twitter, but since I'm streaming right now and I really want to talk to you guys, it's honestly much better for you guys to come in the chat, and maybe he can talk to us about his thoughts on Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk. Speaking of live streams, I pulled this from my downstairs TV. I really want to get into streaming like Switch and PS4 games at some point down the road. Because I know I talk a lot about video games, especially Nintendo, and who knows, maybe I'll add Sony, PlayStation one of these days because I got a PlayStation 4 Slim last year. But I know I really should be playing more because I really enjoy hi Jeffrey, thank you for joining us on YouTube. I really enjoy talking about like video games and photography, but it's kind of I know it's very strange that I don't usually talk about the pictures I take or the video games I play. Not that I'm not MLG status, like not for a long shot. I suck compared to MLG players, but I do enjoy playing my fair share of online games like Doom and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I don't know. I got a copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered because I have PlayStation Plus. Like, I got it for free. And thank you for letting the DualShock 4's triggers, there's control, aim, and shoot, Activision. But I don't know. I don't want to do voice chat because, I've heard the horror stories of people swearing and 12-year-old turds saying very R-rated kind of stuff. But I don't know, maybe one of these days. It's something I want to get into. Just I don't know if the rest of the community isn't enthusiastic. But anyway, Jeffrey, did you see Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk? Yeah, funny. I have one of the songs from the Electric Company stuck in my head. It's weird. I thought you could respond to live chats like on your phone. Is if he's talking about switching sources, but I don't know. It's totally up to you, Jeffrey. But I do want to hear your thoughts on Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pipefolk, and hopefully when Star Butterfly Aesthetics comes back, we'll have more to say. Yeah, Jeffrey said that he felt Marco was left out. It's funny. It's like I see what you mean, Jeffrey, because it definitely feels like Marco takes on much more of a supportive role. Like he does this thing where he occasionally kicks butt, and provides support to Star. When Star was really worried about trying to find him. But I definitely felt Marco took much more of a backseat. The reason it doesn't bother me is because in these episodes, the whole conflict is Star trying to find her mom. And of course, she's not only extremely frustrated, but of course, she's really saddened that, she's not with her mom. She's separated from her mom. I mean, and for goodness sake, I mean, when they were going to originally leave the Pipefolk Kingdom, Star was literally in tears. And, Marco was there, saying, hey, it's okay, we'll figure things out. So, yeah. But, to each their own. Like, I see what you mean, Jeff Reed, but it didn't really bother me as much. What were some things that you really liked? Did you manage to see Escape from the Pipefolk? I don't know, I think you told me you saw Butterfly Follies. While I wait for his response, let's see if Instagram is working any better. Doesn't really look like it. App is really laggy. Okay, what did you say, Jeffrey? Well, what did surprise me is that they mentioned one of the past queens in that episode, but I was not sure if she might have been involved with the Pipefolk early on. Are you referring to Festivia? Because to be fair, it actually makes sense, and when you think about it, because Star's history, at least, well, now we know it goes back to Festivia, but from Comet onwards, there seemed to be this thing of Star's family really getting into baking. Comet was a chef, and we've seen Star, make all sorts of treats. Although we didn't, as far as I remember, I don't remember seeing her make pie. Well, she mentioned in the Magic Book of Spells she tried making a Munipendence Day pie. I really should have mentioned that. And but yeah, because I was wondering, I didn't make the connection that it would link to the Pipefolk, but I think I said in a previous video that I was wondering maybe Star's family, because we found out last season that Star and Moon are technically not related to Eclipsa. What happened was that what I was thinking is maybe Star's family comes from a line of bakers, but I just didn't make the connection. I'm kind of surprised I didn't make the connection. I'm wondering, is that the thing with a lot of, Among Us Star fans, where when we hear about these twists, we're like, oh, why didn't we figure it out? And stuff like that. Yeah, because honestly, there's a lot of things looking back where I wouldn't go as far as to say it makes me feel like an idiot, but it just makes me think that, oh, it makes so much sense when you connect the dots. Kind of like, even looking back on like Butterfly Mode Star, like, even if I couldn't guess that, Sar was going to make a transformation right then and there, it made sense that, there was going to be an evolution of her puberty form, since her puberty form, as, the name implies, sounds like puberty, was meant to be that sort of really awkward sort of stage, between, being a kid and going into adolescence. Yeah, Jeffrey says that's why they call it the plot twist. Yeah. But, Jeffrey, did you have anything more to say about those two episodes? What did you think of the song in... Well, I shouldn't say I, because you just... But, did you see Escape from the Pie Folk? I really... I still have that song from the Electric Company stuck in my head. But, yeah, like I was saying earlier, for anybody watching, please feel free to post your thoughts on the new Star episode in the chat. And, unlike my regular videos, I can respond to you right away, pretty much. He says, or Jeffrey says, yes, I did see the whole thing and the mention about the song. It was beautiful. Did you cry during that scene? Like, I personally didn't, and because I'm weird, but did you? Because I've heard some people say it actually made them cry. I can't even link my Instagram and back to my Facebook because of the Jeffrey was saying earlier that Facebook was having some server issues. Jeffrey says not really, but was amazed. Okay, that's fair enough. What did you think of the twists in the Butterfly Follies? Like with Moon and what Glossrick said. I want to hear your thoughts, especially with what Glossrick said about, questioning Star going to the realm of magic. Jeffrey says a little bit confusing to say the least. What did you think about it that was confusing? Because I felt, no pun intended, I got a little stumped when I heard about it. I think I got some clarity in terms of the idea that, when he asked, did you have to go to the realm of magic to save your mom? Because it was kind of playing with this idea with, well, since Moon is technically of pie folk descent, maybe she should, just stay in the land of the pie folk and make pies. Not saying that's how I feel, but it's that kind of complex kind of issue that really makes you think. I mean, like I said, I honestly really doubt they're just going to leave that at the end of the series. I mean, that they're just going to put Moon back on the land of the pie folk, because if she gets her memory back, I honestly think that maybe she could be like Star's general, or really like assist her in that kind of thing. Because with the idea of Moon just going back and just being, part of the pie folk and making pies, with that similar logic, then it could be argued that, well, why don't they just put Star in the land of the pie folk? But it's almost a guarantee they're going to end the series with Star, becoming the future Queen of Muni. How that's going to end that way is the really big question. But like I said, that's honestly part of the fun of the show. Just the idea of, not being sure where it'll go, and you'll just have to go for the ride and wonder what happens next. Jeffrey says, I see it as a family thing in my words, since family stays together, basically. What exactly do you mean by family thing? Going into our second hour of our live discussion here. Oh, I forgot to mention, and Eden Shear announced that she has gotten engaged to who. I'm gonna try to pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I butchered this. She got engaged to Nick Cron DeFico. It was somebody, help me. But yeah. Coincidentally, she was with Nick for 4 years, and Stars just started its fourth and final season. But yeah, it's definitely really, really cool that the person who plays Star, has finally got engaged to a special someone. Jeffrey says, well, if Star was worried about her mom and wanted Moon back on Muni where she was in the first place. So, yeah. Are you talking about how more than likely Star and Moon will remain on Muni, and that they're not just going to send Moon back to the land of the Pie Folk? Yeah. Things go this way. I'll try to see if I can stay on for one more hour at least, because I want to hear back from Star Butterfly Aesthetics. You know, it's funny. This discussion almost happened on Facebook because I wanted to start using Facebook for a lot more of these live streams, but I wanted to. I think I'm going to stick to having episode discussions on YouTube because as all my other. I can't believe I didn't want to do one for season one, but then again, I didn't start my show back when season one of Star came out. But anyway, I'm gonna keep these episodes discussions on YouTube since it's where I already have my discussions for seasons 2 and 3. Anyway, I think I did season 2. It didn't just start. Yeah, I didn't. It definitely didn't start with just season 3. Actually, maybe it did start with season 3 because one of the very first discussions me and Gabby did here on the Blood Moon Bobby channel was when the trailer that when they put out that really freaky clip where Star and Tom dance at the Silver Bell Ball. But I'm just joking when it comes to this whole shipping thing. It's not that I take it seriously and hate on people that ship anything aside from Starco. Oh, that's just me, being a goofball, if you will. Also, Jeffrey said yes, he was talking about the idea of Star, Moon, Ring of Muni, and honestly, I think it's pretty much a given that they will. The show will end with them staying on Muni. Especially since there's no way they're going to work with the Pie King, since even though I said that I felt he was kind of underutilized, he's definitely a very sinister kind of person. Maybe it's possible the whole reason I'm experiencing this lag is because I'm streaming with my webcam at 720p, but usually, like the stream itself, I usually have it set to sub 720p, and as of fairly recently, the webcam was at like VGA resolution. Maybe for future streams, I should just stick to VGA resolution anyway. As long as it looks clear and it doesn't look like I'm filming it with a shoddy camera from the 1990s. I think it should be cool. It's kind of ironic since I literally just, went to that Panasonic event and filmed videos in 4K and I'm talking about sub HD. Thinking of what else I can say, because I think it sounds like you've said as much as you could, Jeffrey, and I thank you for that. But yeah, next time when I'm doing these live discussions, it's probably best to just come on here. Unless you're having trouble, then I can understand. But it's best when I'm having these live discussions to come on here and discuss the episodes, with me, and maybe in the future for Steven and Gabby. Yeah, that might explain, in terms of streaming, the webcam in 720p. Maybe that's why I had to turn down the bit rate of the stream. Because in the first two Butterfly Show live streams I had my webcam in VGA quality. So yeah. I mean, arguably, even YouTube is having some issues right now. Because streaming in this, it's having a bit of a time trying to stream in the way it is. I guess I could kind of talk about like what other live streams I'd like to do. I mean, I really want to make all of the episodes discussions for this channel live streams going forward so that we can chat with you guys when the stream is going on, and we can respond to you in real time and those kind of things. I'm also hoping in the future we can get Steven back on, because he literally said when he saw Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk that it kind of restored his faith in Star. Like, I wouldn't say he was losing interest in the show or anything like that, but even though seasons 2 and 3, he enjoyed them and pretty well, he did, have some pretty big issues. Like, I remember with season 3, he really didn't like what they did to Star, and, when Marco left Muni, Star kind of became pretty apprehensive, and she was very rude to Marco when he came back to Muni. So, yeah. It wasn't just for that, though. Like, season 2, like, I remember in season 2, he said he didn't like the filler episodes in that one. But in terms of what other live streams I'd like to do here on YouTube, I'm considering maybe I'll do games. None of this I know exactly for sure, but like maybe I'll do games every now and then. Of course, I'd like to have these kind of discussions. I'm Q&As or something. Maybe I could do further down the line. Of course, I'll still do live discussions of like the various conferences and those kind of things, like for Nintendo Direct. And speaking of which, I don't think I'll be able to do one for the Apple event on March 25th. For that one, I think I'll just do a regular video. Right. Like I said, just waiting for one of my live stream commenters to come back on, Star Butterfly Aesthetics. It's because I know she, it sounds like, because I really want to hear what she has to say about Butterfly Follies, or this person has to say about Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk. And for anybody else watching, you want to, so we don't have to just keep sitting here and waiting, please let me know your thoughts on those two episodes. I'd really like to hear what you have to say about them. so that we don't have to wait. Please don't be shy. We're even here openly discussing spoilers. If you're here checking out this video, even if you're a first timer to this YouTube channel, please let me know your thoughts on Butterfly Follies, Escaping the Pineapple, or even your thoughts on where you think the show is going. We could even, maybe even get into future episodes. Like, I know everybody has been talking about Curse of the Blood Moon, so if you've got thoughts on those, please let me know, so that we don't have to just keep sitting here and waiting. Yeah. I think there would have been more turnout today had Facebook and Instagram not have issues, which it's not that I'm blaming them, I'm just, kind of saying. And also let me know down below in the comments if you have any other ideas for what I should do for like future live streams or videos. In terms of like non-related, non-star related content, I'm thinking after I get done with this live stream, I really need to eat something when I get done. I'm really hungry. I'll be doing a trailer reaction to that new Aladdin trailer. I saw a couple like screenshots of it. Like I think I saw like the genie was like holding a picture of Aladdin and like he was wearing glasses and that kind of a thing. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do. I'm still kind of on the idea of an Aladdin live action only because as I'm just like, what else could they really do? I mean, Will Smith, I think, even though he looks kind of ridiculous as the genie, I feel it makes sense to cast him because he's got a lot of charisma and charm. And I'd like to see his interpretation of the genie role. But Aladdin's honestly one of those movies I'm kind of on the idea of remaking. I would say a remake idea I'm more pumped for is the Hunchback of Notre Dame remake because I feel that's more a movie that really lends itself to live action and just I don't know, just the idea of like seeing a person in live action singing hunchback songs and seeing those effects done in a sort of realistic manner because I imagine they're still going to have to do a lot of CG and stunt work in the live action Hunchback, but I feel that's a movie I think that lends itself more to live action. Even before Disney's Hunchback, or even live action films based on Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to keep going off topic here, but I figured since I'm live right now, I may as well tell you, what I've been up to on top of Star. So, but like I said before, if you have thoughts on Star, feel free to go ahead and post them. I already did my discussions talking about Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk, and now I really want to hear your thoughts. And now I'm opening the chat up to any questions or you guys expressing any thoughts or even theories as far as where's the show going and that kind of stuff. You know, it's funny. I posted on Twitter the other day that I was showing my sis the the song scene from Escape from the Pie Folk. And the thing about my sis, and you know, of course, I love my sis and all, but she's actually not really into Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Like, it's really interesting, even though she draws the characters really, really well. But you know, I showed her the clip from Escape from the Pie Folk, and she asked me, "Is it going to be like Steven Universe level of feels?" And I was like, "Oh, pretty much." And I showed her the clip, and she was like, "Oh, it's too cute! Oh, it's too cute!" So yeah, even somebody like my sis, she was able to get a lot out of that scene, even though she's not exactly the biggest Star fan. I'm guessing the link to my latest Panasonic video wasn't posted on Facebook because of the issues that are going on. But yeah, if you guys are looking around the channel and you're trying to find the Panasonic video, I just scheduled a link to the video that's posted on my Twitter page for you guys to go and check out. I unlisted it, but you can watch it. The only reason I did that is because I know that video was very haphazard and I could have gotten a lot of B-roll and there are other issues with it. So I decided to basically make it exclusive to my social media followers. I couldn't post the I was just going to post it to Facebook, but as far as I know, Facebook doesn't support 4K video. And I shot some 4K footage on that Panasonic camera that I wanted you guys to see. So that's why. So if you're looking for the link, you're probably going to have a better chance of catching it on Twitter. So once again, go ahead and post your thoughts down below if you've seen Butterfly Follies or Escape from the Pie Folk. Speaking of which, because I know I got a lot of people asking me, you know, how can I watch the episodes, you know, if I don't have Disney Now, you know, because like I said, I had some people who are from places like Poland and the Dominican Republic that said, "Oh, I don't have Disney Now in my country. What do I do?" And yeah, I noticed that somebody like replied to my post actually posting a link to some sort of, I think it was like a Russian website or something like that. So I'm really sorry. I really wish Disney would just, you know, release Disney Now in all other countries, because I noticed that Star especially has a fan base, especially in like Spanish speaking countries. Like, you know, I could think of fans that are from places like, I know one of the most prominent ones is, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Dana the Shipper, or Dana the Shipper. I think it's Dana the Shipper, something like that. And she's from Chile, and she's an amazing Star fan artist. And even though there's some others I can name, you know, Star has a really big international following. You know, there's, you know, I could think of fans from places like the Philippines, and even looking back on, you know, the live chat, you know, that Darren FC did, you know, where she played Star Fan 13. You know, I remember she was saying that she was hearing about fans from places like the UK and Russia, and you know, in the chat that Adam MacArthur and Eden Shear did as Star and Marco, they said that they were getting fans from places. I think like they mentioned Chile, but they also mentioned Bolivia, and I think others that I could name. But you know, that's kind of the point. Oh, the Panasonic video, the link to it was posted on my Facebook page. So yeah, once I wrap up this chat, you know, I suggest, especially if you're into photography and videography like I am, I suggest checking it out. But once again, back to start, since this was meant to be a Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pinefold discussion, I guess I'll just quickly reiterate my thoughts for people that are just joining the chat first time. I thought both episodes were pretty good. I liked most of the twists in them. I thought the song, and also this is, like I said, this is going to be a very spoilery discussion. I really enjoyed the song Star and Moon sang together, and seeing Eclipse again. I was kind of surprised that Eclipse moved to the Monster Temple, but it makes sense in the sense that she's trying to free her husband Globgor, and then also when Star and Meteor were having their fight last season, it smashed up Butterfly Castle pretty badly. But it is interesting how, if you remember in the beginning of season 3, Eclipse basically freed herself from the crystal in Romulus's dimension, and now it's like in the case of Globgor, it looks like even Eclipse can't free him, because if she could, I know she definitely would, but she's having like all these like workers trying to free Globgor, but they even try hammering the crystal, it breaks instantly. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a thing where the only person that can free Globgor would be Romulus, or that sort of a thing. Gabby's just watching. She said that she's tuning into Butterfly Follies, and she literally tweeted the words "fucking hell." But it looks like Facebook's all back in order. And as for Escape from the Pinefold, again, really fun episode, really touching at the end with the song that Moon and Star sang together. Like, even my sis, who doesn't really watch Star, was really blown away from that by listening to that song. Although, a couple of qualms I had with both the episodes was that I thought that the the Pie King was kind of an underutilized character, especially since he was kind of built up from one of the Star clips that was released. And also, and maybe, I don't know if I can conference her in, because I think it would be a bit of a stretch. But yeah, just so things don't get too messy, I think if she wants to respond, I'll have her reply on YouTube. And I kind of felt the whole, what they did with the beach day photo, where Star reveals, oh yeah, I got this from Father Time, and I wouldn't be so happy in this picture, because it's in the future, I wouldn't be so happy in this picture if we never found my mom. So I kind of felt that was a very strangely placed metaphor. If it was like a thing where she goes to Father Time and hopes that maybe he can see into the future, and he's like, I can't really say much, or I can't really do much, but here's this picture you took on beach day. Then I think it would make sense, but as is, it's just kind of like especially since in the next episode they do get Moon back, even though her memory is still not really there. Let me ask Gabby. I don't know if she's seen in Pinefold yet. Jeffrey says, thanks for the heads up. Facebook is back, but seems a bit messed up at the moment. My end, not so much, but it might work. It might still be acting up for others. But yeah, if she does want to join in, I'll have her chime in through the comments. I normally would just sort of conference her in, but I think it would just be really messy. Meanwhile, YouTube's internet is still kind of wonky. Yeah, definitely next time. Especially since I know that my window, well, if it's full screen, I still want to do it at 720p, but maybe I can adjust. But yeah, maybe in the future if I do these kind of live discussions where, I'm in a window, maybe I'll turn down my webcam resolution. I think that's kind of part of why, the bit rate is going all over the place. Funny enough, if I were to choose, I mean, I think me and my sis should work on making an Independence Day pie because it was featured in Escape from the Pie Folk. Though I kind of wanna, I'm honestly more interested in trying the pie of the red Solanache. I still haven't figured out how you pronounce, this one, the tomato pie. Because I'm more of a fan of cooked tomatoes. But maybe we could start an Independence Day pie. I'm not sure if I'd like figs, though. Oh, I imagine my sis would be more of a fan of eating figs, but me personally, I'm kind of like, eh. I'm a very picky eater. I do enjoy watching cooking shows like, Jamie Oliver's YouTube videos and the Gordon Ramsay shows like Hell's Kitchen. And, I like watching his recipe videos, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know. If I'm being really honest. But yeah, it definitely looks like we are going to get some more chatterers on here before the stream ends. Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to, I don't mean to make this, a sort of empty kind of a space. If you guys have seen Escape from the Pie Folk and Butterfly Follies, or even just have, theories or questions regarding season 4, please, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat what you think. I don't know. Should I talk about my thoughts on where I'm hoping they take Starco on later this season? Because I already basically discussed what I'm hoping is that Star Marco they finally admit their feelings and get together in terms of romantically towards the tail end of the season, but they don't end it on what they did with Avatar, where they ended on a big dramatic kiss. There's nothing wrong with that. I love the ending of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I'm just saying, if Star wants to stand out, which the show has stood out before, but in terms of the ending, yeah. Because I've seen a couple shows where their romantic interest, and if they decide to go the whole way, they usually end the show by them getting together. Like in Danny Phantom and Phantom Planet. And it, the series ends with Danny giving Sam that sort of ring. And by the way, Sam, another Ray Griffin character I really like. And they fly around I forgot the name of the town that Danny Phantom takes place, but I'm just I still want to see Nick Honeyman. And also, I'm really, the fan of me just wants to see, because there have been times where Star has been blown away by a Marco's appearance, and she thinks he looks cute. Like in the Bon Bon the Birthday Clown episode where he's in the suit and that really funky song is playing, or even when Star, even though this is a really cringy scene, is like looking at Marco's abs. I'm still waiting for Marco's turn to like see Star, and maybe she puts on a an outfit and Star. I mean, Marco is like, wow, she looks really beautiful. I know they did that in the Blood Moon Ball, and that was probably one of the first. There's a lot of the first indicators, I say, but it was like one of the first scenes that I'm like, ooh, Marco is in love. So I don't know. That's more of a fan thing, though. It's not really a kind of thing where I'm like, it must happen, or I'm gonna be extremely pissed off with season 4. And Gabby is now saying that she'll see how fast she can get through. And I don't know about that one, since Pie Folk, is another half-hour episode. And of course, I don't want her to skimp through the episode and that kind of thing. I want her to see the episode as a whole and give her thoughts. But if you yourself have thoughts on Butterfly Follies or Escape from the Pie Folk, if you're just joining the chat, please be sure to let me know. Whoa, I don't want to click on my own stream on my phone. But yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if Yabby is just like speeding through Escape from the Pie Folk right now. I'm really curious to see. She seems to really like Butterfly Follies, or at least is really surprised by it. So yeah. What I will say, just wanted to point out, I'm glad to hear that the Star fans, even the ones who really like the show, are objective and critical about the show. There's a lot of them that don't just go on Twitter and just blab about the good parts. There's a good chunk of them that will state their flaws with the show, just like Jeffrey did. And I know, like I said, there's fans of the show that really hate some of the characters, like River, because he can be really childish. And I'll say straight up that these 2 episodes don't really do favors. With the scenes where like River's really stubborn, and instead of going home, he's like, I'm going to bury myself out here because there's no home without my moon pie. And that sort of thing. I said before on Facebook that I don't really get easily annoyed by characters, only if they really get under my skin or really irritate the crap out of me. That's kind of why, I mean, like, my take on it is for characters like Angelica and Rugrats, they're kind of meant to be the sort of antagonists, so I feel that's why they act the way they do. I think a perfect example, and this is of like a character that's technically not a villain, but people really hate because of how annoying she is DW from Arthur, which I could understand because like DW definitely has some like is really whiny and can be really mean towards him. On one level, I kind of get it because like I'm an older brother myself who is occasionally annoyed by my sis. I remember as kids we were really competitive, especially since like my sis was never like super annoying, and but she would always get the much higher grades on tests. She would, when she was an orange belt in karate, I was the yellow belt, that sort of thing. So, but I don't know. Jeffrey just had another thing to say about River. River seems to be showing River seems to show some immaturity, much like what Tom is doing. Yet I see Star Marco seeing more seriousness in the show. In season 4 will prove that. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, but then again, Tom is, kind of maturing as a character, and he, went to some pretty extreme lengths to make himself a better person, like that demonicism back in season 3. But yeah, it's kind of funny because I know there's some people out there that don't really like Star. I'm not fans of the show, but I mean people who aren't really into the show think that Star is too hyper and too bubbly. My sis is one of those people, and I think that's even what like my friends' parents think of the show. Like when they see Steven and Gabby watch Star, they're like, oh, it's so childish. And yeah, it's kind of interesting because even though Star can be really cheery and kind of hyper, she is a person within reason. She knows how to make decisions. She's a very smart character and so forth. Even Marco, who can get pretty annoyed by Star, especially in like the earlier seasons, he realizes that too. But it's a matter of taste. If you find Star to be too annoying, well, that's cool. We can agree to disagree. But that's just how I feel. Man, I'm almost running out of water here. But in terms of River redeeming himself, I'm not really sure. I think he redeems himself in the fact that he's a really caring father, and that, he really wants to make Star happy and those kind of stuff. And, I think he can prove himself useful in battle and things like that. But it's just that, like, on most days, when he's just being himself, he can be incredibly obnoxious. But he honestly doesn't really, like, get under my skin. Yeah, well, since I know for a fact, like, Gabby is going to come back. Although I'm really curious to see, how fast she can get through Escape from the Pie Folk, especially being a half-hour episode. I'm just like, I don't know. So I'll keep hanging out here. If once again, if you guys have any thoughts on season 4, the episode so far that you would like to let me know about, please let me know. So I'm noticing quite a bit. I'm seeing, a few people like the tweet where I announced that I'm going live, but I really want to hear from you guys. If you guys are watching the stream, I would like to hear your thoughts. What does Jeffrey want to talk about this? Like he says, it is what you call being free spirited in the spell book, which has Muni's zodiac symbols. I am the tadpole in terms of the real sign, and it does mention free spirit. I think I actually came across that chapter in the Magic Book of Spells. Let me double check that. Jeffrey, what page is that on? Yes, but seriously though, the Magic Book of Spells have a lot of hints that aren't discussed in the show. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of if the show started focusing on like dedicating all the episodes to the queens. I mean, they could really dedicate an entire season to talking about the queens, to be really honest. But then it would detract from the main story. Let's see if I could find it. It's kind of interesting that I pointed this out before when I first got the Magic Book of Spells, that the way Festivia writes her entries, they kind of look like Twitter posts, in terms of she likes to use hashtags, and she has hearts that represent a number of likes. I thought that was kind of cool. Bit of an on the nose reference, but I think it's kind of funny. Jeffrey says it is Selena's chapters. I think it's Selena the Shy. Jeffrey, I think it's more helpful if you give me a page number. Oh wait, there is no page number. Sorry about that. Let's see if I could find it. Seriously though, they really should put page numbers. Because this is a really big... Okay, Selena the Shy. Okay, so I'm born on June 10th, so I guess in terms of Ariel, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So, really, Marco is considered a dead horse. So I guess I'm a Hydra. Yeah, I'm technically a Hydra. So that's pretty cool. I'm wondering, does Star say what she is? Since actually, what do they say? What is considered a Hydra? It says, many talents, hardworking, achiever, two-faced, self-reliant, likes to please. Yeah, that's pretty... Apart from... I don't know. Well, two-faced, that sounds kind of shady. But, I don't know, like, many people say that, like, I'm a person of many talents, hardworking. I will say I'm a bit of a people pleaser, like, admittedly to a fault. Like, I'm unfortunately the kind of person where, like, I people please to the point where even if I can't satisfy everybody, it's still kind of, I still kind of go bananas when I hear, somebody that has a qualm about what I said or that kind of a thing. So yeah, that's definitely pretty cool. I'm kind of wondering why they don't... Oh wait, it says Star is a pig goat. Hyper, fun-loving, brave, stubborn, impulsive, hates rules. Yeah, I would say that I can describe Star pretty well, since pig goat is between December 22nd and January 20th. She also says that Raphael, I think that's Marco's dad, is a tadpole. Angie, Marco's mom, is a narwhal. Wondering, is Ponyhead a Ponyhead? Well, I guess technically, but that's not confirmed. Or unless I know somebody might, say, it's confirmed on this wiki, but I don't know. You know, I'm going through Moon's chapter, and she's talking about her mill horse pumpkin. Would it be interesting if the unicorn from the uh, realm of magic, you know, the one that with the really strange looking eyes, what if she became like a mill horse? So, like, maybe it'll be part of Star's final spell or something like that. Just doing a bit of stretching. Again, if you guys have any thoughts on season 4 so far, or please be sure to post your thoughts in the description. I'm going to keep going at least until Gabby comes back, and hopefully Star Butterfly Aesthetics will also come back. You know, because I don't want to have to start a separate stream. I know maybe it would have made more sense just in terms of I had quite a bit of time to kill, but figured I'd stay on here. How long was Escape from the Pipe Folk anyway? Because last I checked, I mean, Gabby's probably progressed even further now, but she said she was on the 9:15 mark. And whoa, I don't wanna play the whole episode and be accused of piracy. But the episode itself is like 22 minutes and 20 seconds, so I don't know. Um, Probably gonna have to wait until a bit past 6 to hear from Gabby. I'm gonna stick more to my iPad because my phone is starting to die. But again, don't be afraid to post your thoughts on season 4 so far in the live chat. What's Jeffrey saying? Hey, I don't mind. I'm just doing some room cleaning myself and getting a few things out of the way. Besides, I hope we do get more on this chat. Yeah, I hope so too. And like I said before, I don't like. I'm glad that I got to talk to the people I did today, but I want to hear from even more of you guys for the people that are watching. But I think this is honestly a much better way of discussing episodes rather than just doing filming and make and not being able to respond to you guys as soon as I film. Yeah, I'm noticing even my iPad has been has starting to die too. Actually, let me go get my charger, and I also want to grab a bite to eat before Gabby comes back. So, um, I don't know, Jeffrey, if you could just like mention in the live chat that I'm stepping away from a second, that would be really cool. So I'll be right back, guys, as we cross into our third hour. And also, if you have for anybody else watching, if you want to post your thoughts on season 4 so far, Butterfly Follies, Escaping the Pipeful, or your thoughts on what may come, let me know in the chat. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, Gabby is here in the live chat. She finally finished both episodes. Gabby, what did you think of Butterfly Follies and Escape from the Pie Folk? Also hoping for Star Butterfly aesthetics to come back. I'd also like to hear her thoughts on the episodes. Yeah, Gabby says, so first off, I was proven wrong about Eclipsa having no interest in the crown. Yeah, because she said in a prior theory that what she was thinking is Eclipsa might give the crown over to Star because of the way she was treated in the past. But I don't know, Gabby. It's still not out of the question, I would say. Even though, yeah, it's clear Eclipsa is now making her own changes and she's giving monsters, equal rights, if you will. I still wouldn't be surprised if maybe down the line, Eclipsa might say, Star, you have a better idea of the future, and that she just wants to, get back with her family. Because I felt ultimately that was one of Eclipsa's bigger goals, and now, and it's still one of her biggest, ambitions right now is to free Globgor. So, yeah. I'm not saying as soon as Globgor gets free, Eclipsa will retire, but I still think it's possible she could hand it over to Star at some point toward the end. But, did you have any qualms with the episodes, Gabby? Like, I was kind of scratching my head about the beach day theory because I felt just the way they put it in was really kind of like it was kind of an odd motivator and it took away some of the tension. She says, I can definitely still see that, but she did show more interest than I was expecting. Yeah, I would say so too, but I still think it's not entirely out of the question that she could hand the throne over to Star toward the end of the series. She said that she felt it came out of nowhere, but just rolling. Yeah, I kind of got that it came out of nowhere sort of feeling as well. But as far as escaping the Pie Fog, did you think the Pie King was kind of an underutilized character? Because he did his purpose, like, he was definitely threatening, he was well acted, and, definitely had his minions come to try to stop Star, Marco, and River from taking Moon back to Muni, but it just kind of felt like he was kind of a one-note sort of character. I honestly think maybe they're trying to save up his character for maybe a future episode, and he becomes a sort of secondary villain. Gabby says yes. In terms of, did you think he was underutilized? What did you think? Do you think it's maybe because they're going to use him in a future episode and they're just saving him up? Yeah, she definitely feels they could have definitely been used a lot more. I don't want to say that, he was like never like used at all. Like he definitely served his purpose. But yeah, I feel me and Gabby could have expected more. He did give, sort of prove that yes, Festivia, was originally Pie Folk and that sort of thing, but I didn't really get much out of his character, and I think the main reason is because they're going to save him up for maybe a future episode, and he becomes a sort of secondary villain, just like Meteora was in the first season of Star. Yeah, Gabby says I can't tell. TBH, it'd be awesome to see more of him though. Just the reason I bring that up is because I don't know. I'm not saying I wanted the Pie King killed or thrown in prison or that kind of thing, but it just feels like there's still reason for him to go after Moon. Like maybe it'll be the first time he goes to Muni or something like that. I don't know. And Gabby says, and the Twistle Cow. Are you talking about the one with Stivia? Because, as to be honest, it's something that I kind of saw coming. Admittedly, I didn't. I thought it was going to be a thing where, like, maybe Festivia comes from a family of bakers, but I just didn't make the connection that the family of bakers is the pie folk. Yeah, I mean, it just mainly came out of the fact that not only was Comet a chef, but, Star also likes to make her own treats, like brownies and, when I say cupcakes, yeah, in the St. O's episode, when she makes, like, a whole tray of cupcakes for Ponyhead, and drops them just from the mere mention of St. O's. Gabby says you called it big time, though. Of course I did. But now... Okay, I'm done rubbing my hands together. That was actually quite tiring. But now, Gabby, I was telling the chat that you often like to sing so I'm wondering, what did you think of Star and Moon's song? I really want to know what you thought of that. Oh my god, like, I could only imagine if she liked that song, it would totally, like, it would just make her so incredibly happy. But let's see what she has to say. No, Jeffrey, I'm just anticipating Gabby's answer. It's not even... It's surprisingly not even that cold today. I was driving my sis around where I live, and it's like... Jeez, like my iPhone's weather app says it's like 67, but it felt like freaking 75 degrees. It's nuts. Gabby said she nearly cried. Oh my... You're not alone, Gabby. I remember reading a comment somewhere, I think it was on Instagram, that said that scene made them cry. And even my sis, she's... Like, Penny's not really big into Star, but she... But yeah, even he said, "Oh my god, it's too cute." And Gabby says, I was on the public bus and trying to hold back tears. I watched Escape from the Pie Folk in my former college's Starbucks, and like, just from like seeing Moon and hearing her hum the song, I had to stop myself from fanboying, and it's just like, because I was surrounded by a whole bunch of people. So just, yeah, it was just absolutely wonderful. I mean, Gabby, would you consider playing that song on your ukulele that Darren Nefsey herself signed? In fact, I would take it one step further. Why don't you play that song on your ukulele and tag Darren Nefsey in the video? Since you met Darren Nefsey, I'm sure she remembers you. And there's a huge Star fan base on Twitter. And the cosplayer Heather Kip knows who you are too. Just saying. If you really want clicks to your YouTube channel and your singing videos, And Gabby says, "Oh geez, if I can learn it." Well, Jeffrey says, "Well, maybe they could be new fans of the show. We may see." What exactly do you mean, Jeffrey? But going back to what Gabby was saying, I don't mean to keep bonking my head like this. I do this every time I'm having a brain fart. I guess the only other question would be, well, not just for Gabby and Jeffrey, but I mean for everybody else watching, how do you think they're going to jog Moon's memory back? Because I think it was widely believed what would happen is Star and Moon would make a Moon-Independence Day pie together, and that would be what jogs Moon's memory, but that's not the case. So what do you think they're going to do to help Moon? I don't know if it's going to be... I don't think they'll do a thing where, like, Moon's memory comes back literally one episode later. Like, based on the clips that we've seen, it sounds like it's going to be much more of a gradual sort of a process. But what do you guys think? How do you think they're going to jog Moon's memory back? I mean, Star is most certainly capable, and who knows, maybe they'll even get, River to help out. I mean, Jesus, that was my phone, by the way. I mean, people can, hate on River all they want, but then again, he's the only other person next to Star that's close to Moon to the point that that he could help her, and arguably it would, make him an even more helpful character if he helps jog her memory. Although, I feel like this would piss some people off, but could you imagine if Moon got into the same antics as River? I don't know. Jeffrey says, well, the Starbucks people that saw you watching it. I don't know about that, especially, I imagine a lot of the people I was sitting next to isn't all caught up. I actually wanted to... Gabby says, I have no idea how they do it. Jeffrey, do you have any ideas? But... yeah. I mean, Gabby, I mentioned, and people hating on River because I saw the other day somebody, I think it was this person even responded to me saying, I hate River so much, and even my cousin Anna was like, ugh, I can't stand in River. But my take on River is very similar to my take on other really annoying characters, in that unless they really get under my skin or do something legitimately despicable, not just annoying, but it's something that changes the course of the story or hurts the lead characters, I personally don't mind. And to be fair, River has, some likable traits, like the fact that, he's a very caring father, and even though, I mean, the family he comes from is rather barbaric, he can, still use those skills to help him out. And Jeffrey was like, well, no, back in season 3, Marco had to snap River back into shape and protect the kingdom, so I suppose Marco may have to encourage him to get Moon's memory back. We will see. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a stretch, but I think it could help. But I would think that because River is so in love with Moon, that, it would be his natural instinct to help Moon. I mean, he'd get into some antics. I mean, I don't, now that I think about it, I don't think River's gonna do a thing where, he tricks Moon into doing the stupid antics that he does, but just the fact that, he depends on Moon a lot and he really loves her, I think, it would almost be his natural instinct. When he gets back to, well, now it's the Monster Temple, he's gonna have to, he's gonna do everything he can to jog Moon's memory back, if you will. But yeah, I guess I say that because, the reason I say it seems like they're going to play this out is because if you saw the clip where Eclipsa was teaching Moon how to use her skeleton guitar, Moon seemed rather willing to have Eclipsa teach her, because if you remember in season 3, the first time she saw that guitar, she was terrified. She was like, you made a guitar out of a skeleton? So, yeah. But I was just about to say, I guess the one kind of bittersweet thing about Moon losing her memory is, I feel like this is a glimpse of what it would look like if Moon had a much happier life, in the sense that, because I feel a big reason she's as staunch and her policies are as anti-monster as they are is because Toffee killed her mother. So I think that explains why she can be really cool. I mean, is also a really caring, protective, arguably even overprotective mother, but I feel a large part of that stems from just the fact that Toph killed her mom. But now that, she's lost pretty much all her memories, I feel like this is a glimpse of what we would get if Moon was a much happier person. Like if the Moon we know from the Magic Book of Spells, the this Moon, when she was a little girl and she was having a lot of fun, I think, she would have led a much happier life. But then again, of course, she has to get back, in the zone, and, Star and River are her family and they love her, and in turn she cares for them so much. So, yeah. So I felt that was just a kind of one bittersweet thing to bring up. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me actually see if there are other things I wanted to bring up in the episodes. I did want to ask Gabby, is it possible that the show is kind of toying with this idea that, maybe Moon belongs with the Pie Folk? Because I said earlier in the stream, maybe what's going to happen is maybe Moon will sit back and just, spend her life making pies. But especially if she gets her memory back, I can't see them doing that. Like I would think that if Moon gets her memory back, maybe she could serve as like Star's general, or some kind of military strategist or something like that. And maybe Eclipsa could be like sort of Muni's member of parliament representing the new monster town. Like that sort of a thing. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I imagine, though, this whole storyline of Moon losing her memory, it's not going to be like Gravity Falls, where if for the people watching have seen the ending of Gravity Falls, Stan gets his memory wiped. I won't say why he had to have his memory wiped, and the way that Dipper and Mabel get his memory back is they show him the scrapbook of the adventures they had all summer long. But yeah, that's probably not going to be, especially since in the show, the Magic Book of Spells isn't going to be a thing. Or, it got burned up in season 2. I highly doubt that. And Gabby agrees that it's cool. So, yeah. But other than that, did you have anything more to say, Gabby? I know you just watched the episodes and got caught up, but did you have any more to say? Any kind of theories, or what do you think will happen going forward? We'll say though, so that theory that Star and Moon made the Munipendence Day pie to jog her memory back. I guess that's out the window because they did, but it didn't resolve her memory issues. Yeah, Jeffrey said slow progression and getting Moon's memory to be restored fully is pretty much one part of the plot for this season. And before we heard that season 4 would be the final episode of Star, I was kind of speculating they would at least make a 5th season on the grounds that there's honestly so many questions left in Star that they could arguably make a 5th season of the show. But if Darren FC wants to move on and she's fine with ending Star in season 4, then I totally respect that. Like for me, I may have my wants, but I totally respect the artist's needs when it comes first, especially if they want to move on to different projects. But yeah, I want to see if Gabby has anything more to say, and if Star Butterfly Aesthetics wants to come back on and say anything before I end the stream. So, but again, for anybody else, like, I'll keep streaming as long as you guys have something to say. But let me know your thoughts. If you guys have anything to say, let me know your thoughts on season 4 so far, or where you guys think it is going. Since I'm coming toward the tail end of my stream anyway, I guess I may as well tell you guys that in terms of what videos I'll be doing, I'm thinking, once I get done with this, first of all, I really need to eat, but tonight I'm thinking of doing a live reaction to the new Aladdin trailer. In terms of other videos I really want to make, I'd like to do when I heard something about Disney, like, well, actually a couple things about Disney in terms of like Disney Plus, what kind of movies there will be, and even more on the Disney Fox deal. I've long promised a video talking about my thoughts on the latest on Masahiro Sakurai. He's the guy who created Smash Brothers, and his health, because he's been having health issues at least since Super Smash Brothers Wii U, and even then there have been reported cases of him overworking and that kind of stuff. So I'll have that video up. I was gonna upload it today, but I'll probably upload that tomorrow. So that's what's coming up. Like I said before, Gabby, did you have any more final thoughts to say before I end the stream? This is probably the longest stream I've ever done. It's like over 3 hours long. Although that's pretty remarkable. Gabby was watching Escape from the Pie Folk on the bus, and it nearly made her cry. If you guys have like a link to maybe like the ukulele version, and I hope that exists, the ukulele version of the Pie song or the Mini Bunny Rabbit song, please let people know in either. Well, I'm getting close, but if you're watching this on the stream, the live chat, or in the comments section, if you're watching this pre-recorded. Yeah, I was sort of following these sort of issues that Instagram. I think Facebook is working fine, but Instagram isn't. And Gabby says, I'm really looking forward to see how this all continues. I really don't know what else to add. So, alright. Since I can't get I don't think I'll be able to get my post up on Instagram. I think I'll end off the stream here. So, apologies for the sort of internet issues. I think the next time, if I do streams in this way, I'll stream my webcam in lower resolution so that it reduces the risk of having these kind of internet hiccups. I really enjoyed having fun discussing Star Season 4, the new episodes with you guys. It was really fun to chat with you all. Star Butterfly Aesthetics, if you do come back, if you see this pre-recorded, just leave your thoughts in the comments and I'll get back to you, as is for everybody that's watching pre-recorded. So I'll end it off here. It's been a ton of fun. So I don't know what we'll do. Regardless, I'll be back next week to talk about the new Star episodes. So until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and before I end, I would just like to say I hope to see you guys out there if you have a ticket for the Blood Moon Ball at the Gallery Nucleus. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see you there. And until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you guys for watching.